Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my review of Servant X Service Episode 8 entitled A Dangerous Sprout, Beware Tanaka's Grandson. So, yeah, let's get into the summary real quick before I get into the actual review portion of this video. Alright, so this episode basically starts out with Lucy at the ward office. Lucy at the ward office, walking around, talking to different people, filing reports, and getting embarrassed when they call her by her first name. Seriously, what the fuck is so embarrassing about the name Lucy, huh? I just don't understand that at all. I mean, it is humorous to an extent when she gets embarrassed by it, but I still don't see what's so goddamn embarrassing about it. I mean, you can see why she would be embarrassed about having such a long name, but the name Lucy? Really? But anyways, though, afterwards she meets Hasebe, who asks her to go out for dinner with her once again. At first she refuses, saying that she spent all her money going out to eat last night, but when Hasebe volunteers to pay for the food, she agrees to it after all. Meanwhile, Megumi tells Tanaka about Hasebe and Lucy eating dinner together, Tanaka getting visibly distressed about this for some reason. The next scene is at the unknown restaurant where they are eating. Lucy asks if he always eats out, which he says that he does. He says it's too much work to cook and it's too lonely to eat alone. He asks Lucy if she wants some alcohol, but she refuses, remembering the last time they drank and that she could barely hold her alcohol. Their conversation continues with Hasebe asking Lucy why she likes books so much, and she says that whenever boys would tease her about her name, she would always run to the library. So that's where she hung out most of the time as a kid. Hasebe suggests she change her name legally, but she refuses, saying that she doesn't want to make her parents said that she hates the name they gave her because they're great parents. After a look of sadness, saying she'll never be able to get a date with that ridiculous name of hers, and they finish eating, Hasebe volunteers to walk her home, but she refuses, saying that she can walk home just fine, and thanks him for the dinner. The next day, at the ward office, Hasebe is sleeping on the job. Taishi asks him if he finished the reports that he was assigned to, which he did, and gives them to Taishi. Lucy's then seen heading home for the day, running into Tanaka when she walks outside. Tanaka invites her to go out for dinner, which she refuses, but he literally gives her no other choice in the matter by dragging her by her collar. When they're eating, Tanaka explains his relationship with Hasebe to her. Hasebe was always better than him in everything: games, sports, and other such games and challenges and activities. One time during a basketball game that he lost, Tanaka said, "Horrible man," and Hasebe thought he was talking about him when really Tanaka was talking about himself. Tanaka has bore a grudge for him ever since then. Tanaka then asks Lucy out, but Hasebe shows up and knocks him over the head, saying that Miyoshi saw Tanaka dragging Lucy away and called him. After they're finished eating, Tanaka leaves and Hasebe walks Lucy home. The next day, back at the ward office, Hasebe is once again slacking off. First, Taishi scolds him for slacking off when he was supposed to be organizing some reports for him, and then both Miyoshi and the ward office manager catches him slacking off at the same time. Funny note, the place he decides to slack off at was at the ward office manager's desk. Nice place there, Hasebe, really. A little while later, Hasebe finds Lucy sorry about that, eating all alone because supposedly everyone else went out to eat. Once again, he tries to persuade her to go on a date with him, but this time with her wearing a skirt. Then he decides to make her choose between wearing a skirt on a date or to work the next day because he wants to see her in a skirt that badly. Can't say I blame him, but still. When he's about to agree to a date, Megumi interrupts, declining for her, and I guess Megumi ended up getting a date with him instead, which is actually really odd when you think about it. Although she does say that she'll wear whatever the hell she wants, so you know. And that pretty much sums up what happened in this episode, so let's get into the review then. For the most part, I enjoyed this episode. In most cases, same as I enjoyed all the previous episodes. I mean, it still has the same brand of humor and whatnot, which is funny to an extent, but that's actually where I get into my biggest problem with this episode, besides the lack of animation, which all the previous episodes had anyways. It's that at this point, I mean, this is episode 8, so at this point, I do feel like it's getting kind of redundant, the brand of humor that it has, and it's not really, hasn't really been showing any new type of humor yet, you know, which is kind of disappointing, right? Because after a while, the same brand of humor does tend to get rather boring if it's not mixed up a little bit, you know, so that's definitely an issue I had with this episode. But other than that, it was still enjoyable. It just wasn't great, you know. And I really hope that it starts to pick up later on in the series, because at this point it's not, probably just like a subpar series at best, I honestly say. It's above average, definitely, but just subpar at best, really. So yeah, anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.